Hey guys, George Roddy. I'm sitting here with Brian Farmer, FTC student, and we're talking about mail merge and leads and trying to set up, at the end of the day, we're trying to kind of crunch some of the data and purge some of the data. Some of the, we're, well, ultimately we want to get labels. We've got our postcards. Brian, you went and got 6,000 postcards.
Yep.
And instead of handwriting anything and printing them on the postcards, which is an option, is you could put that postcard in your printer and then it would print directly. But you're wanting to put them on labels, right? Just kind of, was it clear labels and on the back side of your postcard. So what we did was we went in and got the data, and 75002 or 75205. No, it should be 76205. Hold on one second. Let me close this out. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so this is a little house cleaning item. Instead of 7.5, it's 7.6. So what he did was we downloaded all the absentee owners in 76205. It's an Excel file. So what you first have to do is, sometimes, I don't care who you get your data from, you're going to have to delete some records. There are some things that you could do in order to not have commercial properties, etc. But what I did was I said 76205, give me everybody that's an absentee owner in that zip code. And when I pull this up, it shows, I think there were 320, let's see.
Like 320 something.
Yeah, 327, and it shows 328. Basically what it has is it has my header up here on the first line. So all of these are, and let's just kind of make all these and then bold this so you guys can see. So there's 328 or 27 records. But what we're wanting to do is mail to these people, and every few months, every 3 months, they get a postcard from us until they either call us and say they want to sell, or they call us and say, don't mail to me anymore. And what you need to do is, we need to go through this database and actually delete some records that I downloaded that I don't really need. And let's scroll over here. You see how it has the tax billing city, state. It has the owner's name. This is all in Excel, and we need to delete certain fields that don't have any information. Like this, Ryan Toll, there's not a tax billing address. There's not a tax billing city and state. So what the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all the ones that don't have anything for a tax bill address. So what I do is I just click on this field right here, and then I just sort. So A to Z. Basically now I've got everything. One of the first things is, don't waste any postage, or when you print out your labels, it's going to look funny when we do the mail merge. So I come down all the way to the bottom, and it looks like there are about 17 properties that don't have an address. So all I'll do is come in here and delete those. So I hit delete, and now we have only 309 records. Okay? Hold on one second. Then I come in and I want to take out any commercial property, or maybe mobile homes, or things like that. So I come over here and I'm looking for universal land code. So what I do is I'm going to sort this from A to Z, and now it's got all the commercial NEC. So bottom line is, I want to take out all the commercial acreage, all the commercial lots, all this stuff right here, and I delete that. So just hit the delete button, and now I've got farms. Personally, I'm probably going to take out farms and forest and industrial and livestock. Okay? Then I hit delete, and now I'm down. I've got mobile home park. So a mobile home park, I'm probably going to, you could leave that in. I'm going to delete it for this training purpose. If you got multifamily, and then you have SFR, which is single family residential. And I scroll all the way down, and I've got some townhouses or row house. Do you know what a row house is?
I have no idea.
I don't either. Okay. So we've got 268.
Okay.
All right. 268 from 327.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money you saved on postage.
Yeah. So we're going to mail to these things these people three or four times a year. So it adds up. So this is what I'm talking about. It's purging that data and deleting the deals that I don't want. Now the last thing is the deed date. We're at 268 right now. Mm-hmm. Up here is the deed date. My philosophy, and this is just mine, is if someone bought it in the last year or two, I probably, again, Tim might not agree with me, but I would probably delete them from my records. Does that make sense, Brian?
No,
just because I think they just bought the property. Now, yes, granted, they might want to sell their property, but I think if someone just recently in the last 6 months or year purchased the property as an investment, they're probably not going to want to sell right now. Again, we'll talk about that maybe today on the call. I don't know what Tim's stance is, but definitely I would go in here and say, hey, look at the deed date, and I'm going to sort this from oldest to newest. It's got 1972 all the way to probably 2011. But what you have to understand is sometimes they change the format when they put it in here, and sometimes there isn't a deed date. So if there isn't a deed date, I definitely want you to keep it in there. Okay. Yeah, you might waste some postage, but we don't know. So it could be that they've owned it for longer than 1972. I'm scrolling down. Now I'm at 2010, and I'm just going to take out 2010. Anything from 2010 to today. And so that, look, 8-4, it are, on Sandy Creek. And so I hit shift, and then I'm going to delete all of those. Then I come down here, and these say 2003. I'm going to delete this one right here in 2010. So I hit my delete. On all of these, they don't have anything, so I'm going to leave those. I scroll all the way down, and pretty much I'm pretty sure I have eliminated all the ones that were 2010, 2011. Mm-hmm. So what are we left with? 239. No. What happened? What did I do? Hold on. SFR. What date was this?
Were there some names?
Recording date. Oh, yeah. Well, some of them were, the last thing is corporate names. Yeah, corporate names. So let's go back. The last thing that you might want to do is the owner name. Anytime it's like Denton Affordable Housing, eliminate that. Okay? So let's sort all of these A to Z. And then I'm going to look for any corporate names, because some of these people own more than one. And like right here, I would look for any dupes. I just, what I do is delete that. There's a couple Brett owns a couple properties. There's no point in us sending it twice to the, getting a postcard, because then it looks like, so I would, hold on, I come over here. It takes a little time to do this. And then,
if I may ask a question, what if it's Bedford Graphics? They just happen to be working out of their home.
No, I would leave that. Okay. In most cases, I'll make a call. I'll make a judgment call. If it says Bedford Graphics or the Colony Graphics, then I'll make that determination. Okay. Yeah. So coming through here, y'all get the point. You can come in here and delete, and delete multiple ones. Does this take some time? Yeah, but once you get the data good, you can forget about it. Right. You know what I mean? So come through here. I'm taking out. I don't want to spend all day on, but y'all get the point. You just go through here, and there's a bunch of them that might own 30 houses. So let me see if anybody owns. There's probably one that, like Scott Richter, Ficky, who else? Oh, here's a bunch of Zimmers, so I could. Okay, so we're not only taking out multiples, and let me just delete those.
That reminds me of that call at the seminar.
Oh yeah,
When
yeah, yeah.
Tim got
Right,
the guy that had 6 or 7
right.
houses.
So here, Denton Affordable Housing, H&P Reed Properties, Denton Affordable Housing, Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corp., etc., etc. What I would do is just delete. Again, I'm just for training purposes. Let's assume that all of these don't fit,
Right.
and you could hit Shift up top and Shift down below. Again, if nothing else, you could just save one of these, right? You could take out, let me just do this. You could highlight all of these and maybe just send one time.
Mm-hmm.
But don't, what I would say is don't do any of the, the majority of these you can take out and like right here, Shift and just delete all of these. So now we're just sending one postcard because, now I'm thinking about this. Federal housing mortgage, I would probably delete. But this guy, H&P Reed Properties, just like the call, he might own 10 properties. Let's send him a postcard every 3 months.
Okay.
Let him call us. Now, all of these properties are in 76205, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what I'm talking about. Leave these people in here, but don't mail them 10 postcards.
Right.
That's going to look not good.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're down to 215. I could come through and eliminate all those. We'll probably get to 195, and now you have your list for the year.
Right, which is great.
Okay, so
we start with what?
327. Now we're down to 100. If I were to go through, now I'm down to 215. So that over 4 months, over a year, that's going to add up.
Yeah.
All right. So let's save this. I'm going to save this as 76205 revised. That's what I'm going to call it.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to name it as I'm going to make it as an Excel workbook. And that's how you purge data, whether you get it from FLS or it's pre-foreclosures. Sometimes you have to go in there and get this information and then just kind of scrub it is what I call it. You scrub the data.
I wouldn't have known. You saved me a lot of money.
Okay, so we're done with Excel. Now let's come into Word. And all we want to do is put these on a letter or labels. Hey guys, all right, I want to show you how to do mail merge. Mail merge is in Microsoft Word, so I've got it right down here at the bottom. I'm going to open up this, and we talked about purging and scrubbing your data. Now I want to talk to you about how to insert the data streams or the data fields into your letter or postcards. So what we can do is first thing you need to do is you've already scrubbed your database. Now we need to insert the information into a mail merge or into a mail merge letter, and so you can just print out the 100 or 200 you need or send it to your printer. So let me show you. What we need to do is let's go to mailings and let's put start or select recipient. If you've already typed up a letter, which I'm showing you right here, this is just kind of a letter to an expired lead. And it basically says the owner's name. So I might put the owner's name. We understand you own a property at, and then we'll put the address in. And we had one question for you. Are you still interested in selling? And then please go to, and this is where you'll put your website. And then that's really it until, again, you'll put your company logo, but that will be already preset, and that has nothing to do with mail merge. But then down below, I want you to have your company name. Again, this is already preset, but these three fields right here is what you're going to get out of the mail merge. So let me show you how this would work. We've got a letter here that you've typed up, and I want to insert the name and the address onto this letter. So what I'm going to do is select recipient, and I'm going to use an existing list because we've already got a list of expired leads, for instance. So let's click on this. It opens up. We go to our leads, and let's say the expired leads were in 76205 revise. So I click open, and then it asks, it just says, okay, this is the table, and then it's checked. First row of data contains column headers, yes. Click OK, and now it's opened it up. So what we want to do is I want to take this out, and I want to insert the owner's name. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to here's a greeting line, an address block, insert merge field. This is what I want to do. I want to put in owner's name, or even the male owner's name. So let me show you. You put in male owner's name, and if you click on this preview results, it basically says Alfred and Sarah Green, we understand you own a property at, and then here is where we need to put in the property address. And so because we have all of the top line in Excel was all the headers, this is what it has. And so we can put the house number and the house name. So let's do that. House number, and then space street name, and then space, and then put the street suffix, and then put a space. So let me show you what it looks like when we have our mail merge on. You see how these, it's house number, street name, and street suffix, and then we put the space. Now I always like to kind of preview this. Then, you know, and you could even highlight this and make this a different color. If you wanted to do black and white, great, but you can, you know, you can get creative with this, and then you can underline this. Okay? Now let me come back to the mailings and let me show you what the next record looks like. Okay? Just keep on going. Alan E. Waldo, we understand you own a property at 2023 Westwood Drive, and we had one question for you. Are you still interested in selling it? Hey, how about the addresses at Azalea Street? How about the Haneys on Rio Grande? So you get the point. This is called mail merge, and this is how we're taking a data set and including it in here. Now, if I come down here, I also want to have my address. So I'm going to take out the owner's name, and I'm going to just use the same thing. Mail owner name. Come down here and put the tax billing address, and then I come here, and then it's tax bill city. No, tax bill billing city right here, comma, tax bill state, and then two spaces, and then tax bill zip. So let me show you what it, if we don't have the preview on, then this is what it looks like. Now obviously you're going to have all this preset. What I'll probably do is make sure that this box right here is clear. So let me come back here and take out and put a no border in there. Same with this. I'll put a no border. But now you've got a mail merge. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I come back to mailings. I preview. They're looking good. I come down here. I've got 1808 Willowwood Street. And that's not right. Hold on. So I've got a different, I need the same, let's see, what did I do wrong? Because you want everything to match up. Yeah, I think what it's doing, guys, is it's taking the next record, and we want it to keep the same. So what we could do is, let me do this. I'm going to take this, copy it. Actually, let's see, take this off. So you could do the house and come down here, and let's see. Now let's see what that looks like. Yeah. So that's what it's doing. I just pulled the wrong field. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad you see this because what I'm doing is I'm pulling the house address, but then the tax bill mailing address is different. So you need to, if you're mailing it to an absentee owner, you might say, hey, we understand you own a property on Azalea Street, but their tax billing address is different. And so we just have to I want to keep this the same as down here. Okay? And then so let's see. Alan, F, and Janet. And so we need to keep everything the same. And that you would come up here. So you just need to make sure that I might have put in the tax bill, and here I want the city, state right here, and then put the zip code right. Where is that? Right there. So I guess you get the drift or the gist of that. You've got, but this is a quick and easy. You can have this and put this on cardstock and send this to your printer. And basically what I have is this side just folds, and you print this on one side and the other on another side. And so when they open it up, it's basically this message, and you don't have to really. It's kind of a postcard style. It's postcard rate, but you've actually just folded an 8.5 by 11 by 8.5 by 11 piece of paper cardstock. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how to use mail merge. Every Microsoft Word version might be a little different, so there's usually a button for mail merge. Start mail merge, select recipients, edit recipients, and then insert the fields, and then you preview. You go back and forth between preview, and you can go, the next one, and so it stays the same, okay, congruent with the top. But be careful if you're going to send it to, if you're going to say, hey, we understand you own a property on Rio Grande, you want to, they're living at a different address, for instance. So it kind of just depends on what data you're using and who you're mailing it to. All right, another is labels. Let's just show you. I'm going to close this out, and I want to start again. Let me start new. Now I want to do labels using the same. Let's say you have postcards. You just want to stick the labels on there. So what I do is come to mail merge. I want to do labels. One of the first things it's going to ask you is what style. So what I would suggest is 5160. That is 3 across and 10 down. So you click on OK. Then you want to select your recipients again. So we'll just use the same one. Let's pretend like we're just starting out. I scroll down. I pick up my leads. Here's 76205 revised. And then it asks me again, the first row, yep. So now it basically says next record on all of these. What we need to do is insert mail owner name and then put a return. Then we want the tax billing address. We want to return. We have a tax bill city. Then you put a comma and the state. 2 spaces, and then the zip code. And the last thing I'll do is I'm going to reduce the size of this so you guys can see it. Let me come over here and change this to, say, 9. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I think it's important. I think you need to put something on your labels anytime so you can kind of track it. For instance, if I mailed out 500 postcards tomorrow and I got 50 of them back next week, that's a sizable return that didn't get delivered. And so I'll probably look and try to research those those properties and or remove them from my database, because we're a big proponent of mailing consistently, and you're going to be mailing to these people several more times throughout the year. So you want to take out the bad ones out of your database. And the only way to do that real easily is just to put some type of code. And I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me just kind of show, and let me come back to my mailings, but let me show you the preview. So it has the person's name, but it has E0811. What does that mean? E is for like expired, or I could put AO dash 08, or 0811, and I might capitalize that, make that smaller. Let's see, just really small, because only you need to know what that means. So let me hit enter. So when they get the postcard or they see this, they're not going to really know what AO-0811. And I'm sure they're going to, if they're real astute, then they're going to think, that's some kind of tracking number. But you know what? At the end of the day, your message, they looked at it at least. So let's come back to mailings, go back to preview, and then what I want you to do is I want you to copy this and paste it all right here. Paste. All right. Paste. Paste. You do that 30 times. Now some programs it automatically does this for you, but let me just show you. You do this 30 times because there's 30 on this page. Now let me show you when I do preview results. You see how it's going from Alfred. Now there's another Alfred, and so it looks like the first ones it's doing twice, and I don't know why it's doing that, but at the end of the day, I might waste. I'll just peel that. I won't peel this one, so I'm going to waste 30 labels out of 300. But you go through and you put all of these, and it might be because I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. What I'm going to do is just keep on pasting, and I'm sure that there's a reason why, but I just don't have time in this presentation. You just keep on going, and I preview it, and it keeps on giving me, and then I go to the next page because I've got 300 of these. See how the top two are redundant or duplicating it? You just want to know that, and it doesn't look like there's any other duplications. So I'm going to page 3, page 4, and if I continue, there's 214 of them, and so you get the point that I can create. Now the last thing is, let's say that I had filled this all out. The last thing I want to do is merge, finish and merge. So I just basically click on edit individual documents, and then it says merge all documents. Yeah, that's fine. And so what it's going to do is it's going to create a packet for us, and you're going to see how many there are. 1 of 8. So there's 8 pages that it's going to print. And again, assuming that you filled in all of these 30 times, all you got to do is once, and then it will create this. So here's page 1, here's page 2, here's page 3. If that makes sense, it's just going to go through, and if you did it right the first time and you hit the this finish and merge button, now you have this and you can save this as a template or as your actual documents or your labels for this motivated seller lead. So anyway, I hope that helped, guys. Let us know if you have any questions, but these two things is scrubbing your data and then doing mail merge, whether it's a postcard, labels, a letter, should help you out. Thanks. See you on the next video.